Hello viewers, it's Super GT once again with some more NASCAR action this time. Decided to go back to this pack. I haven't done it in a while. Pretty much since the pack came out I haven't touched it. So here we go. Let's see what we can do around a rainy Le Mans circuit. This is going to be absolute carnage. It already is. That guy's done a 360 or 720 or something. I've been pushed on and I'm going to go off onto the gravel as a couple of other guys have joined me on our play site of the gravel. On the left hand side on the run up to turn number 2, or 1 if you want to call it 1, and then through we are just about okay, no one getting too punty from behind. A couple of guys rejoining, we're through past them into 12th, another guy off and through into 9th, a couple of people leaving and off the track, gaining a couple of positions very quickly. Now coming through onto the Mulsanne straight in just a moment, another guy coming off, another guy coming back on. Just about get through there, and I'm going to get pushed wide onto the very slow stuff and just get nudged wide again, just for good measure, you know, just to make sure that I'm off. Thank you very much for that. And then get overtaken once again. Now into the first chicane. I just get totally ruined by this puddle. I don't really know where the puddles are around this track, to be honest, and that kind of proves it. I just get totally wrecked by that one, lose me about 4 minutes worth of time. And into the next one. This guy's just going to completely misjudge his braking point. Go on, bang, he's getting collected by the other guy. And that was that. Cheers, mate. And then I'm back through, so I actually gained a position out of that. So thank you very much for being a total bandit. Into the next turn. At the end of the Mulsanne straight. He's almost going to collect me. And he's going to presumably go off to his impending doom in the gravel trap. Then I can accelerate away safely. Now into the slipstream. I've got a speed-based tune on this car, so typically it's faster in a straight line. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. Well, he probably does actually. He's defending like an idiot. That's what he's doing. Moving to the left and the right. That guy's off. Thank you for another position. When you are blocking someone, you should just typically stay to one side. If they're going to come past, just let them go past on one side. Don't keep swerving to block. And then I'm just going to drive off like an absolute moron. Try to rejoin as nicely as possible, just stay to one side. That guy had a little bit of trouble getting past me, but I don't think that was a terrible rejoin. This guy is off. Is he going to come back on a awful angle? No, actually he conducted himself very nicely, and I'm going to give him an award for best rejoin of the race probably. But you are going to see in the next race that that guy who we just went past does not shine himself in a positive light. You shall see that in just a moment. Up the inside into the Porsche curves, up into 9th position now. So this is going to be a very tricky section to navigate in a car like this, in weather like this, behind a couple of guys here. That guy's just going to drive off. Oh, and so is he, thank you. Now that kind of just proves that in this kind of weather, with this kind of cars, I tend to nail these races as races that are all about staying on the track, making less mistakes, rather than just being outright quick. Now we've only got 2 laps, so we have to dive into the pit lane here for our quick stop. I have no idea what the pit lane layout is like. Clearly not like that, but I'm just going to go flying over the gravel track. That guy did it the same, and the guy on the right hand side went flying over into the tyre wall. So none of us seem to know about that pit lane entry, but we all did the same thing there. And then on the exit, I'm in 6th position. Would you look at that? And then on the exit coming out, just chasing down this guy who just went past me on the entry to the pits, and then into the Dunlop chicane. This guy's just going to totally disregard track limits. Over he goes, saves himself about 20 years worth of time and a bit of fuel if you like as well. And then coming downhill, massive puddle in the middle of the track. My main mission here was to try and beat this guy who cut that turn. As soon as I see someone do something like that, I just think, right, you are my target. Not necessarily to ram off, but just to beat. But I'm going to make a very similar mistake to what I did last lap. That curb just slows you down so much. Don't touch that. And then into the end of the Mulsanne straight, gaining 1 position from that guy who was stationary there. And then coming through, a bit slidey on the exit, but then a bit further up the road, we're just going to get on the back of this guy and just think about going for a move, but it's a little risky into there. Just back out of it and hope for something different a bit further on. and then into the left-hander. We're both through okay, so that isn't too bad. Sometimes it's best just to wait and save time. I wasn't sure exactly where he was going there. He looked like he was going to the left, and he pulled back to the right, make contact with him, but I haven't pushed him on, so he can just about make it through the turn. Then onwards we go towards the Porsche curves at the end of the Le Mans lap. So up the straight here, I believe he is just going to catch that puddle. Yes, he is. There he goes, into the wall. And that's another position. Thank you very much. It's all too easy for me at the moment. So let's see what we can do about catching up with this guy around the Porsche curves on the second lap of 2. So these endurance races are normally a bit longer than this one. Normally they're around 20 minutes or so. This one's going to be under half of that. So I would have expected maybe 3 laps around here. That way you'd at least split your strategy on the pit lanes, on the pit stop, sorry. But then coming through at the end of the lap, wasn't quite able to catch up with that guy. So he's going to finish in 3rd on the podium, and I'm going to come through in 4th. Now turn 10 banter levels were so high that they managed to give us a Le Mans circuit in the rain again the very next race, even after we voted random. So that was very, very nice of you. Thank you very much for that. So let's see what we can do in the second edition of the race. Now you want to watch this guy. This is the guy who I said rejoined very nicely in the previous race. But in this race he is not going to shine himself in a positive light at all. It's going to get very messy from his perspective. And this is where it happens. Down the Mulsanne straight. I'm going to move very fairly over to the right hand side. I haven't done anything to him. He's just going to, you know, just turn across as you do in Forza. Just turn across. Yep. Thank you very much for that. And then going into the first chicane, I was so scared that he was going to brake, go flying into me. So move across, then brake is normally a good tactic to employ if you are scared that someone is going to smash you off. I tried to take the racing line there. Those two guys obviously have none of it. They're going straight across the curb, and then here he's just going to turn across me again. I'm not sure exactly why. If we have to, we can watch it in slow motion. You're just going to turn across to the right. I was facing straight in a straight line. At worst, I can say maybe it was just the rain and he got caught out by that. So I'm not going to totally blame him for that one. Maybe it was just a bit of oversteer. But hopefully he won't blame me for it. But I think he will, because into this one he's just going to come flying into Muffins there, who in turn has collected me into the second chicane. So I believe that he got aggrieved by that for some reason, even though at worst it was a racing incident, if not his fault. I don't think he can blame me for driving in a straight line next to him. And then into this right hand at the end of the straight, yes, you guessed it, he's just going to smash me off into the wall once again. So for some reason he seems to have it in for me, despite the fact I haven't really done anything to deserve that. Definitely didn't do anything in the previous races or this one. And then at the end of that straight, going past a couple of people as we turn left into this one, I'm just going to get nudged wide, almost go off. Here he is going off, and he's just going to try to rejoin. I'm not really going to give him much space, but I was so scared going into this one. I thought he just wasn't going to brake, so I'm just looking behind. But luckily I didn't have to bother really anyway, because he just drove off the track anyway, so it didn't matter too much for me in that respect. So moving to the end of the race. Now I tried to be a cheeky little fucker here and try to skip my quick stop. So I thought I could try perhaps skipping the quick stop here and then taking it at the end of the race before you finish the race. Just go in and then sneakily go through the finish line in pit lane. But you can't do that. It basically goes like this: misses quick stop penalty, and then you finish at the back. Regardless of what you do, you are going to finish last. It just puts you at the back of the pack. So basically there's a lesson for you. Don't miss your quick stop. Don't try to be cheeky and take it on the last lap, because it doesn't work. So that is going to bring a close to the video. Hope you can learn the lesson there of the quick stops. Actually take them, don't wait for the last lap to do them. And that is going to bring close to the video. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe for more like this, and I hope to see you in my next one. Goodbye.